Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and this is the 2020 Kia Soul EV Premium. There's also an EV Limited. This is the Premium, and in Canada, this is the short-range car, and man, is this car good. I'm seriously impressed with this car. We're gonna do a walk-around review of it, and I think this might be the EV to buy, even though it's the short-range car. Now let me just give you some context here. We used to have a Kia Soul up until 2019 that was an EV model, and it had 179 kilometers of range. That was great, but a little bit less than what a lot of people needed. This one is rated for 242 kilometers of range, which doesn't seem like a whole lot more, but it kind of is, because the regular long-range Soul is rated for 383 kilometers of range. So range seems to be the big deal with electric vehicles, and people will say, oh, I'm not going to buy it until it has X amount of range, and at that point, then it's good for me. So let's just do a little bit of background here. We've sold a whole lot of Nero EVs, probably more than most people in the country, and we pre-sold more than anybody else in the country had sold before we even could get the car. So what we're finding from those customers is even though they're rated for 385 kilometers of range, that number kind of gets thrown out the window in real world use, because in real world use, now it's only been summer so far since we've delivered these cars, we are regularly seeing those customers with range of over 500 kilometers of range. So again, that will be less in the winter, we know that, that's just part of having an EV, but for a lot of people, that's way more range than they're gonna need, and you're paying for that range, which is where this car comes in. Rated at 242, it's already been seen a little bit higher than that today, and we haven't even driven this car. This car is sold, so I can't drive it for any distance. I can just take it across the parking lot, do my video with it. But we expect it to be, in this weather, like beautiful weather like today, more range than 242. So let's talk about that 242 kilometers of range. Even if it's just that, if this is your second vehicle, how many times do you need to go through more than that in a single day? And the reason I'm asking that is because the charge time on this one is only about just over 6 hours on a level 2 charger, which is the charger you would have at home. For a second vehicle, for me, that's way more than I'm ever gonna need. If I'm doing a long trip of 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, I'm taking a different family vehicle. So if this is your second vehicle, this is a really, really, really good car. So we're gonna do the walk around. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of EV things. I'm gonna show you things that hopefully you haven't seen before, because I understand that most of our EV buyers know exactly what they're buying before they even come to our showroom, and that's fantastic. Hopefully I'll show you something different. This might drag a little bit long just because I'm gonna talk a lot, but again, I'm trying to give you information that maybe you haven't seen before, and this is a car that I hadn't seen before. We've been waiting for it, and I'm really excited to have it because I didn't think I'd be as impressed with it as I am. All right, whole lot of talking. Let's go take a look at the front of the car. All right, before we get into too many EV specific things, I want to say one thing. If you're looking for an EV, you have enough options out there now to buy the car you want. And if you think about it, before EVs came out, you used to buy a car on a set of things that mattered to you. Sometimes styling, sometimes interior space, all kinds of things. Fuel economy is certainly an issue, and if you're looking at an EV, efficiency is going to be an issue. But remember that those things used to matter to you, and they still will matter to you in your next vehicle purchase. So you want to buy a vehicle that you like. Forgetting the fact that it just has a battery and electric motor, you want to make sure you like the rest of the vehicle as well. And that's where the Soul does really, really, really well. The Soul has huge loyalty. People who buy Souls often don't even consider another vehicle. They just buy the Soul because it's a vehicle that makes so much sense for them. So let's just take a look at basic 2020 Soul styling. You've got LED headlights in here, as well as LED marker lights. They're off right now. You've got LED fog lights in here and signal lights down there. Those LED lights, they're really bright, they have sharp cutoffs, they're really white, they're great for lighting up the road, and just as a vehicle, you're gonna love those pieces. The charge door is down here now. It used to sort of be in the grille up here on the 2019 model, so it's down here in the bumper. Looks nice and clean. The big thing I like about this car is the 2019s used to have the two-tone colors and sometimes different colors, let's call it. People liked it, some people didn't like it. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the mainstream look of this car. The only real differences you have between this and the 2020 Kia Soul is that this grille here is nice painted, again, painted metallic color like the car, and that's about it. You've got the charge port here, but very, very similar look. Moving along the side of the car, on this EV Premium model, you have really sharp looking wheels. We used to have wheels that looked a little different, looked a little smaller than the regular Kia Soul. These ones are really sharp looking. They still are a different design, and it's very hard to get a picture of them or on video. They have a cool little pattern to them, which is not a different color. but the way it angles and hits the sun, it looks like it's sort of a checked pattern. Looks really sharp in person. It's got some depth to it. I love it. It looks really great. Moving along the side here, if you've seen our GT line videos, our Kia Soul GT line video, you'll know that there's a red line along the car down here. On the EV Premium that we have here, they take that spot and put a nice little silver line. With this dark gray paint, it looks really, really, really good. Dark gray roof as well. No roof rails up here because if you want roof rails, you can still add them like accessory rails, but you're looking for efficiency, and that's why they take them off of some of these cars here, and that's fine for me. Moving to the back, you've still got the nice new Soul logo down here, which is in the plastic up here. Just a sharp looking car and really mainstream look. So it's a higher end car. So again, this isn't the cheapest car in the world, but you get what you pay for, and you're not really losing anything. You've got the high end features that you would get on a top line Soul, but again, you've got them on this EV model. All right, let's take a look under the hood. Under the hood of the Kia Soul, again, platform sharing means that this has space. When I say platform sharing, I mean that the basic platform of this car is the same as the gas car. That means this has space. This car's been crash tested with something in here, and you have electric motors in here. They sit very, very low. So it's, even with this plastic cover on here, it sits very low. One thing people are surprised to see is this little thing over here, a car battery. The only Kia without a regular battery are not the EVs, it's actually the Niro hybrid. If you get the Niro plug-in hybrid or you get the Niro EV, you get a car battery. But actually, I'm not sure about the plug-in hybrid. I'll have to double check that. But the Niro EV, the Kia Soul EV, both levels of the Kia Soul EV, shorter range, longer range, they have a car battery. And again, platform sharing. You're using your radio that you would use in any other car, different software, but that all runs off a regular battery. And that means that these cars, let's say the radios, they're in hundreds of thousands of cars across the world. Platform sharing does a good thing for you. And Kia, again, #1 in initial quality for a mainstream brand for the 5th year in a row. So you're buying some quality here that maybe you don't get in some of the other EV brands. But part of that comes down to platform sharing and having things that you can swap out anywhere. So again, radio system, same idea as the regular Kia Soul, and those things run off a regular car battery. Everything else in here, you got a lot of extra space because there are less components, a little bit less maintenance, and yeah. So if you've never looked under the hood of an EV, there you go. Let's move to the back of the car now. All right, the rear end of the car, you've got these nice 2020 lights that come around here. Again, identical look to the gasoline car. In fact, the only real difference is, other than no tailpipe, you have an eco-electric badge right here, which is again on all of our electric vehicles. Remember, you're not just buying an electric car, you have to buy a car that you actually enjoy. And this is why people love the Soul, one of the many reasons. You've got a big square opening here, and a big square opening means you can fit big things. Now, you're the kind of person that, like me, you don't have to carry big things all the time, but when you do, you can fold down these seats. You've got tons of space to go to the home improvement store. Personally, I'm a big fan of Lowe's. My last name is Lowe. Anyways, but yeah, you can go to the home improvement store, you can get the big things you need, you can fit them in the car. And a lot of people say, well, do I lose trunk space because I have a battery? And the answer is no. This floor is up here, it's got cargo tie downs, you've got a USB port back here. But speaking of cargo again, you can drop this floor very easily. It drops down lower, same thing as you would have in our gasoline Soul. So you can drop right down. The only reason actually I'm not doing that, we'll do it. This cord is in my way, that's the stage 1 charger. I'll show you how easy it is to drop that floor. 1, 2, 3, click. That floor is now down a good 6, maybe even 8 inches deeper, gives you more space down there. And when it's up, you can use that storage underneath for underfloor storage, like for instance to store your stage 1 charger. And if I give that a little squish, it'll fit in there anyways. There we go. So I could have lowered the floor with that in there. And also when you fold the seats flat, that's flat and level. The tie downs are tied to the floor, which means that if you lower the floor, your tie downs are still down low on the floor. If you raise it, they're there. Smart packaging, smart design. That's why people love the Kia Soul. And again, you're buying a vehicle you love, not just a powertrain that you love. So let's take a look at the back seats now. All right, backseat test, here we go. I do this in a lot of our vehicles. Can I get in and out easily? Well, yes, in the Kia Soul. Again, the reason people love these cars, they're small, they're compact, they're efficient, but they're huge inside. I'm about 6 feet tall. I've got tons of headroom. I've got over a fist worth of headspace above my head. I'm on a comfortable angle. My legs are virtually on the seat. The floor here is a little tiny bit higher than a regular Kia Soul, and that's because the battery pack is underneath the car, but you're still in an extremely comfortable position. The front seat is well off the floor, so I've got big size 11 feet that you can stick underneath the seat in front of you. You've got tons of leg room, tons of headroom, Good width in here as well, lots of space. You've got an armrest here. Again, simple little features, but the armrest doesn't fall flat to the seat. It falls exactly where your arm would be. You've got nice detailing and styling down here, a USB port for your guests. You've got plastic seat backs here. If you've got kids, plastic seat backs wipe clean way easier than cloth or leather, so those are easy to wipe clean. On the passenger side, you have a nice leather pouch there, so you can stick your map books and other things in there. Do people use map books? Nobody uses map books anymore. I don't know what you stick there. I guess your kid's iPad can stick there or something else, but certainly not map books. In the door, you have bottle holders. In the armrest, you have cup holders. Very comfortable place. You can fit 5 people here quite easily. For 4 people, it's going to be a great car for a long trip. And again, you can go on long trips. This car is capable of quick charging as well. So you don't have to be limited to your 264 kilometers of range. You can go longer than that as well. All right, let's check the driver's seat. That's where all the tech is. That's where you really want to see. One thing I didn't mention in the rear seat that I should have, there's big wide opening doors, not just the rear doors, but also the front doors. In the rear, that makes a difference because if you have kids, getting child seats in and out of the rear is very easy. If you take around elderly people who need a little bit more mobility and have some mobility issues, again, the rear seats in this car can easily fit adults, but they're also easier to get in and out of. So for the average person, most cars have no problem getting in and out of the rear seats. But if you have someone with a little bit of mobility challenges, or if you have car seats that you need to buckle in with your kids, those wide opening doors are great. Same thing in the front. Nice big wide opening doors, easy to get in and out of. And the thing people love about the Kia Soul, again, you're buying a vehicle you like, not just a powertrain you like, is the seats are at the right height. They're a little bit higher than a car, a little bit lower than those tall SUVs, and you just slide right in nice and easily. You sit fairly square, fairly comfortable. You've got a good dead pedal there. I can move the seat forward still, giving my passengers tons of room. And again, tilt telescopic steering wheel, so lots of range, up and down, in and out, wherever you want. The seat, the steering wheel, everything, you can be comfortable. Again, car things that matter. All right, let's talk about everything else. Now, because it's an electric vehicle, I can turn it on. You don't hear any engine noise, of course. We do hear radio though. All right, 262 kilometers of range, that's what I've got. We've got about 99%. Again, as we drive this car, it'll learn how we drive and it will figure out exactly what we need. So just jump to 270, I turn the air conditioning off. The car will figure out how we drive and it will give us more predicted range as we go. Let's talk about some basics in here. Safety features like lane keeping assist. That helps keep the lane centered, keep the car centered in the lane. If I'm playing with my stereo system here and I'm not paying as much attention as I should, I'm not going to drift out of my lane. Super great safety feature, keeps people safe. Blind spot detection. So that means the mirrors light up with a little orange light. It'll beep if you start to signal and turn into someone who's there. It will also warn you if you're backing up if someone's crossing your path. A lot of time we get stuck looking at our backup cameras instead of looking left and right, and that will warn us if there's something coming that's outside of our field of view, but it's coming from either side, so we don't hit them. All right, this was supposed to be the base car in the EVs, and although it does have a few less things. This one is cloth instead of leather. You do feel like a very premium experience. You still have a leather wrapped steering wheel. You still have this 10.25 inch screen, and we're gonna dig into that. It's got a backup camera in there, but the thing I like is we're gonna go hit the menu button here. Actually, we're gonna not hit the menu. We're gonna swipe across. We're gonna hit, where are we? We're gonna hit general. Oh, we're gonna swipe once more. Swipe across, we're gonna hit setup. We're gonna go to vehicle, and you can change your drive modes. So this car has multiple drive modes, Eco, Normal, Sport, and an Eco Plus mode. The Eco, Normal, and Sport, as you see on your screen here, are all set up to be customized. So if I hit, for instance, the Eco, I can set the climate control system, I can set a maximum speed limit, I can set the regeneration level of coasting. All of those drive modes are not only set up from the factory to give you the different drive feel, you can customize them from there. So a lot of people don't show you that. You can do that here. So your Eco can be really Eco, your Sport can be really Sport, your Normal you can change to be slightly more Eco, slightly more Sport, or whatever you want. So I think that's a brilliant design. I also think that if you've driven EVs, these paddle shifter type things are a really good idea. A lot of times if you've driven a Tesla in the past, they use their gas pedal. So you hit the gas, you go forward. If you let off the gas, your brake lights actually come on and it gives you braking. So you can do a lot of one pedal driving. You can do one pedal driving with this car as well by using your paddle shifters. Now you can leave it in the highest regeneration mode, which is heavy braking, or you can just paddle shift over and have it fully coast. So that ability to have them on the paddle shifters and to change that regeneration depending on the type of driving. Maybe you're coming off the highway, you want lots of regeneration. Maybe you're driving in town, you want lots of coasting. At a fingertips control, you can change that setting. So the default mode in your drive modes, for instance, Eco is currently set to the second level of regeneration. You could change that at any point to have your Eco be more regeneration, have your Sport be less regeneration, and you can customize that all up the way you want. I think it's brilliant. It's so smart the way they've done that. And again, if you've driven an electric vehicle, you'll start to realize why those are so useful. If you've just driven a gas car, you may not think of it much, but you can start to get used to you can tell Kia's done their homework. Let's just put it like that. Basic car stuff, automatic headlights. Like I mentioned, they are LED lights with LED fog lights as well. If you set them to automatic, they will turn on as soon as it gets dark. You've got features like cruise control, not just regular cruise control, a smart cruise control. And what it does is it sees the cars in front of you and keeps a safe distance behind. So if you set your cruise for 100 kilometers an hour, but a truck is moving, say, at 90 kilometers an hour, the car will stay back. What I like is you can use that cruise control in stop and go traffic. The car will come to a stop and go. So you have your cruise set to, say, 110 kilometers an hour, but the traffic in front of you is only going 10 kilometers an hour. Car will just keep its speed. It will go faster and slower, and when the space opens up, it'll move up for you. I think that's brilliant. It's awesome. Heated seats. We've got an electronic parking brake. We've got a nice shifter here with the rotating knob style. Little trick, if you have it in drive and you forget to put it in park, no big deal. As long as you turn the car off, the car puts itself in park. So if you have one of these cars, you can try that out yourself. Automatic climate control, single zone in this car, and that's fine. You've got a driver only mode, so once the car gets up to temperature or down to temperature, you can set that for driver only. Let's talk about winter. You do not have a heat pump in this car. Heat pump gives you a tiny bit extra range by storing the heat that's made from the regenerative braking. You have to move up to the higher range EV in the Soul to get that. I don't know that that's a huge concern because you do have battery warming technology in this car. So again, the car does lose range in the winter. That battery warming technology will help you lose less range. No big deal. You've got plenty of range in this car. Electronic defroster in the windshield as well. You can use that. Down here, wireless charging for your cell phone. Drop it in, lets it charge. You've also got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and it looks beautiful on this 10.25 inch screen. Super smart. You've also got navigation, factory navigation, so you can use Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze, all kinds of apps from your cell phone for navigation, and you can use factory navigation. All of those will help you find charge stations, but again, most of the people driving these cars are just charging them at home. If you need to go on a long trip, this car can quick charge in about 50 minutes, just over 50 minutes, it can be about 80% charge. So 54 minutes or so, it'll be about 80% charge, and you can keep going. Fast chargers are all over the place. You'd be surprised at where they are, and of course there's gonna be more and more. Most of the time though, you're not fast charging. You've got your right now 269 kilometers of range in this car. 270 plus I've had in this car just looking at it in the past day or two. You've got all the range you need for most of your daily driving. And again, this could be your primary car. There's no reason it couldn't be, but for a lot of people, this should be your secondary car. Great, great range there. UVO Intelligence. In Canada, you have UVO Intelligence. That's 3 buttons on the mirror here. It also gives you a smartphone app. Now, the smartphone app on a gasoline car tells you you can start your car from anywhere. Of course, this car, why would you start it? You don't need to start it, but you can set your climate control up, so you can just do that from anywhere. You have self-signal, and the car is sitting in Bell's network, which is basically anywhere in Canada. But you can do that from anywhere. You can unlock the car, lock the car. You can get notifications about people locking and unlocking the car. So when you drop it off for service, you'll know what we did with it. You'll know that we took it in and out. A lot of great stuff in there. Wow, so much to like about this car. The big thing is, back to the car stuff. It's a really comfortable car. It drives like a normal car. Anybody can get in it and drive it like a normal car. It's not weird. It's a really, really nice car. All right, if you made it this far, thank you for watching me ramble on and on and on. As you can tell, I'm really, really impressed with this car. I really like it. But the big thing is, why do we do these videos? Well, the reality is we do them to earn your business, but we do a lot of things to earn your business. Kia has recognized us, Kia Worldwide has recognized us as a top 3 percentile Kia dealer in the world. We won that award this year. It's called the Platinum Prestige Award. We're really proud of it. I don't think we talk about it enough. I think we should talk about it more, but that's a really big deal for us. Our sales team, they are a non-commissioned sales team. They're educated on these cars. We're finding that a lot of salespeople are not educated on these cars. Our team is, and they're ready to sell them to you today. They are tough to get in stock. Sometimes you have to order them. Often you have to order them without seeing them. So we're trusting these videos. Sometimes we have them in stock. You can come see them like right now, but this is a sold car. It's on its way out the door. We've done a number of these sales without people having come to see the car. We are prepared to deal with that. If you want one of these cars and you can't find one to test drive, we're going to try to keep one in stock as much as we can. But again, we have a sales team that's ready to deal with this car, a service team that's ready to deal with this car. And the final thing is our sales team. They're non-commissioned, like I mentioned. They're also top 5 in the country right now for customer service scores. So we really take care of our customers. We do our best to be the best dealer we can possibly be. And if you're looking for an EV, we've done everything we can to be a leader on these vehicles, including with these videos. So we hope to earn your business. If you're in Ontario, give us a call, 519-304-6542. But more importantly, just follow the link in the description of this video. That connects you with our sales team. It sets those internet sales team people are trained on this car. So if you send a link through there to connect with one of these cars, they will follow up with you. They will have information for you. And if you have questions for me, whether you're in our market or out of our market, let me know in the comments below, because we're going to get more of these in. I'm going to do further drives. I'm going to do, we'll do a test drive. I'll do further videos to answer your questions. I'd love to show you more. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day.